Good morning, PotCoins. Today is Sunday, 17 May 2015. We are currently on block 793214 of the Pot chain. Here's what's been going on this week. PotCoin has a new site. PotCoin.info is gone and PotCoin.com is completely redesigned. And there's a promotion going on that if you register for Pot Wallet from a link on PotCoin.com, you get 100 PotCoins to start you out. Also, the Pot cards are coming back along with a rewards program, and that should be up next week. The old web wallet still doesn't work. It looked like it was almost fixed, but it's not. It still shows a zero balance for me, and other users have also reported a zero balance. The story was that it needed to re-download the entire blockchain. But it's been long enough that a Chinese sweatshop full of 12-year-old kids working for $1.50 a day could have copied it by hand by now. I'm starting to think that it lost the seeds. If that's the case, all those coins are gone forever. Another reminder that you should keep your coins to yourself. Red Rhino 007 said on Reddit that there is a problem, and since Pot Labs didn't develop the wallet, it's been hard figuring it out. They are still working on it, but there is no timeline for that. Pot Wallet has been mostly working, but I still wouldn't recommend keeping large amounts in there. The safest option is the Qt client, and the second best is Pot Electrum. And I honestly think that it's safer to leave your coins on an exchange like Cryptsy than it is to leave them in a web wallet. But I don't recommend leaving your coins with anyone but yourself. Most average people in the US know that the economy sucks right now, but not many people realize why it sucks. This week, a story about major layoffs in one of Colorado's largest pot retail chains helps us see much more clearly why the economy is so slow to recover. Sean Phillips owns 9 pot shops throughout the state. Business was good. So good that he was planning on opening another retail store and expanding his grow operation. He paid a bunch of money to the Marijuana Enforcement Division for permits and licenses and started getting the space ready. Most of his investment went into a 40,000 square foot grow facility. In the past, it had taken 30 to 60 days to get the paperwork done with the MED. This time it's been over 7 months with no word. As a result, he couldn't afford to keep all of his employees and laid off almost half of them. Phillips said, "From a business standpoint, we anticipated having those licenses issued back in January. We have a cultivation facility that we've put a large amount of money into. It created a huge financial burden on the company and the loss of revenue that we can't put in the ground. And it put us in a situation where we had to make a business decision. We're confident we can work our way through this, but it puts us in a situation where we're going to be 5 months behind schedule. We employ a lot of people, with families. We provide health insurance. I wholeheartedly believe this is a temporary situation and we're going to get through this." A third of them talked to me after we had to let them go, and they said, "I understand and want to come back." There definitely were a lot of tears. Phillips is still optimistic and wants to get most of his employees back. His company is even helping them in the meantime getting other jobs in the industry. The MED gave the most expected and predictable statement imaginable. They said, "We cannot provide further details at this time." What more could you expect from the state when you have to come begging and bribing for permission to work? This isn't unique or specific to the pot industry. Over 1/3 of Americans require permissions, permits, licenses, badges, or other bullshit that you have to bribe the state to get just to work. It's getting harder every day to start a business or even just get a job. Not because there are no opportunities, there are more than plenty, but because of all the government restrictions. If the government just stopped preventing the economy from improving, we would be light years ahead of where we are now. The EU is at it again, imposing new taxes to take more money they didn't earn and don't deserve. The latest scam from the EU is to impose a value-added tax, or VAT, on crowdfunding. Last year, there were about 120 million euros contributed to crowdfunding efforts, mostly from sites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. The EU wants more than 30 million of that. Supposedly, the EU Commission is still considering whether or not to impose the tax, but in reality, they're only considering how fast can they start stealing money and how much money can they steal. When this tax gets imposed, and it will undoubtedly have an impact on investors' willingness to back campaigns, and it's also a burden on the entrepreneurs trying to start projects. This will likely slow economic innovation and progress coming out of Europe, which is a huge win for the mostly socialist countries in the European Union. If no one can become self-reliant, everyone must rely on the government. That ensures the EU will retain its power over its subjects. What's even better is that the commoners will blame their respective countries, and the EU will have an opportunity to step in and take over failing countries, which will be all of them soon enough due to their economic policy. This is a great time to get Bitcoin crowdfunding up and running, because they can't steal your Bitcoins unless you're dumb enough to trust them to a third party. That's it for this edition of Mad PotCoins. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Chinese sweatshop full of 12-year-old kids working for $1.50 a day